All right, so you're ready. You're ready to ditch the smartphone to really level up your photos and videos. You want a real camera. But man, which one do you pick? It's a classic dilemma, and today we're diving into one of the biggest face-offs for new creators, the Canon R100 versus its bigger sibling, the R50.
Of course you are. You're tired of that grainy digital zoom, you're craving that beautiful blurry background, and you just want the creative control that you can only get with a real camera and real lenses. If that sounds like you, well, you've come to the right place. And here they are, our two main contenders. In one corner, you've got the super budget-friendly R100, and in the other, the more feature-packed R50. The big question we're going to answer today is pretty simple. Is the R50 times really worth all that extra money?
Okay, before we get into all the bells and whistles, all the specs and features, let's just tackle the single biggest, most stressful question people have when buying a new camera. Which one actually takes better pictures?
I really want you to let that sink in for a second. I'm going to say it one more time. When it comes to the final photos these cameras can produce, you literally cannot make a wrong choice here. And the reason for that? It's surprisingly simple.
So here's the big secret. Both of these cameras are built around the exact same 24-megapixel APS-C sensor. Now, this sensor is way bigger than the one in your phone, and that's how you get that gorgeous background blur and amazing low-light photos. Think of the sensor as the engine of the camera. Since they both have the same engine, they have the exact same potential for incredible image quality. So that totally changes the question from which camera is better to which camera has the features that are going to help me get the shot I want.
And that brings us right to the $280 question. If the image quality is identical, what on earth are you paying for with the R50? Let's pop the hood and break down that price difference feature by feature.
That extra cash, it's not just for one little thing. No way. It buys you a massive upgrade in how you use the camera, how smart the camera is, and just how much creative freedom you have. It's a whole suite of features designed for someone who's a bit more ambitious.
All right, here's a quick look at the tail of the tape. We see huge differences right away in the screen, the intelligence of the autofocus, the pure speed of the camera, and some really critical video features. Now, let's zoom in on what these numbers actually mean when you're out there trying to get the shot.
First up, the screen. Now this might seem kind of minor, but trust me, it completely changes how you use the camera and the kinds of photos and videos that are even possible to get.
The R100 is very, traditional. The screen is stuck to the back, there's no touch control, you do everything with buttons. The R50, on the other hand, is completely modern. It's got a screen that can flip out, twist around to almost any angle, and yep, it's a full touchscreen, just like your smartphone.
And this isn't just about making things a little easier. For some people, this screen is an absolute 100% must-have. So, who is that person?
This slide says it all, really. If you have any plan to record yourself for YouTube, for TikTok, for Instagram, for anything, the R50's flip screen is a non-negotiable. It is the only way you can see yourself to frame the shot and make sure you're in focus. For any solo creator or vlogger, this feature alone basically decides the winner.
Okay, let's move on to autofocus. Both of these cameras have fantastic autofocus that's going to feel like absolute magic compared to your phone. But the R50, well, it isn't just fast, it's smart.
So the R100 is great at finding human faces and eyes, and it does a good job. But the R50 takes a giant leap forward with AI. It's been trained to recognize specific things, like animals and cars, and it can lock on and track them with unbelievable accuracy. And here's what that AI gets you in the real world. That animal eye tracking, it's a lifesaver for anyone trying to get a sharp photo of their dog or cat. Vehicle tracking is awesome for motorsports or even just getting cool shots of cars. And that product showcase mode, it automatically shifts focus from your face to something you hold up to the camera. I mean, that is tailor-made for YouTubers doing reviews.
So here's the bottom line. If what you're shooting is unpredictable, a dog chasing a ball, a bird at the feeder, a car racing down a track, the R50's intelligent autofocus is going to massively increase your number of perfectly sharp, amazing photos. It really is a game changer. All right, let's talk about speed, about capturing that one perfect split-second moment. And then let's talk about video, about telling a much longer story.
Well, this chart makes the difference pretty clear. The R50 can fire off photos at 15 frames per second. That's more than double the R100's 6.5. So what does that mean?
It means when your kid scores that winning goal, you'll have more than twice as many photos to pick from, which hugely increases your chance of capturing that perfect peak moment of excitement.
Now let's talk video, because this might be the single biggest difference between them. The R100 will stop recording after 30 minutes. That is a hard stop. The R50, it will keep recording until your battery dies or the memory card fills up. For anyone shooting interviews, events, long YouTube videos, that 30-minute limit on the R100 is an absolute deal breaker.
Okay, we've covered the screen, the autofocus brain, the speed, the video. We've seen how the R50 offers some serious upgrades all over the place. So let's tie it all together and figure out which one of these cameras has your name on it.
The R100 is a fantastic camera and the perfect choice if your budget is your #1 priority. For family get-togethers, vacation pics, and just everyday photography, it's going to give you beautiful images without breaking the bank. It's a simple, powerful, and affordable tool for just capturing life's memories. But you should really try to stretch for the R50 if you have bigger creative plans. If you're a vlogger, if you love taking pictures of your pets, if you're a serious video creator, the R50's features aren't just nice to have, they're essential. This is the camera you can grow with, not one you'll grow out of. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one question. Both cameras share the same heart, that incredible sensor that creates those beautiful images. The choice isn't really about which one is better. It's about which set of tools is going to get out of your way and best empower you to capture the world and tell your story. So, which one's it going to be?